Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're making a video about No Man's Sky in the year 2018. Now, I know that this video is kind of out of nowhere to an extent. You might be wondering, Muta, why the fuck are you playing No Man's Sky in the year 2018? This game has been old news, it's been out for a fucking while, and unfortunately it got a pretty bad rap when it came out, and I will not sit here and argue that isn't true. No Man's Sky was a pretty iffy game at launch, but I will sit here and admit that it is an interesting project that I've sort of been dabbling in as time has went on. Now, as you all know, Muta gets down with the space games. I've been playing space games since a very early age. I played Elite 2 Frontier, I played a lot of Freelancer. I've been playing a lot of these space simulation games throughout my entire life. Now, lately, I've bought into almost every space game that's coming out. It's almost like the space game genre has come into full resurgence. I bought into Star Citizen, I bought into Elite Dangerous, and I bought into No Man's Sky. Now, as far as Star Citizen goes, they're still selling the fuck out of ships. We haven't even gotten a taste of what the single player is playable at this moment in time. There's an alpha out here, which is kind of weird to play on this computer right now. It's sort of playable. Sometimes it like totally loses its mind. It's a game that is not going to be out for a long time. It's hit development hell, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what anybody's really saying. That game is going to take some time. Elite Dangerous is pretty much space trucking simulator in space. It's a decent title for what you expect if you've played the Elite franchise before, but No Man's Sky has been the game that I've never fucking been able to let go of, ladies and gentlemen. It's always been sitting over here. I've always been excited about basically getting into it and waiting for more patches to come out. Now, when No Man's Sky first came out, I'm not going to sit here and make a video about talking about how it lied or calling out Sean Murray or anything of the sort. I think I've already done enough of that. I think everybody on the internet has done enough of calling out Sean Murray, making fun of the game, calling out Hello Game, basically saying all the jokes, you know, no man's lie, no man's buy, all that nonsense. So today, I wanted to make a video talking about my experience playing No Man's Sky in 2018 and basically experiencing what the community is like nowadays. Now, I basically got back into this game through streaming it one night. I played this game for about an hour or something, and ever since then, I've actually been actively playing it. All the times that I've tried to get into No Man's Sky, it's always been an endeavor where I've been sitting there for like 2 hours, playing the game and then shortly deleting it afterwards. I just could never hook myself into this game. I gave it so many college tries that you'd be surprised at how much of a level of commitment I have to something that I'd never really truly fully enjoy. But ever since I streamed this game one fateful night, I've been playing it ever since, bit by bit. Now, in the time that this game came out, we all know No Man's Sky released pretty bare bones, alright? If you played the 1.0 version of No Man's Sky like I have pre-release, you will know that after 2 hours, after landing off on 8 planets, it is essentially the same old grindfest over and over again. And the whole goal of working yourself toward the center of the galaxy is a fucking joke. There's literally nothing there. It is a giant dick slap to anybody who gets to the center of the Earth in the original game. Now, is it changed in the new version? Not really. As far as I know, you still zoom out to another galaxy, and the game tells you to go fuck yourself, destroy some parts, and you have to do the whole grind over and over again. At least now, ever since patch 1.34, we have a story mode, ladies and gentlemen. Now, is a story mode anything exciting? Fuck no. Alright, it's basically all the grinding, but except it's structured grinding, so you feel like there's a level of progression. There's a story to the whole thing about getting to the center of the universe, following people who tell you not to listen to the people who are guiding you in the beginning of the game. It's a whole rigmarole that you have to essentially go through. And is it worth going through to an extent? Yes, if you go at it bit by bit. Don't sit here expecting, Mass Effect Andromeda levels of storyline, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty much very bare bones. But then you wonder if I've already made the video of No Man's Sky, which the last video I made is basically about the same if you think about it. The game hasn't received an update since then. I want to talk about this game from the community perspective. Now, for those of you who haven't been following the No Man's Sky deal, No Man's Sky has been getting an ARG lately. It's basically gotten something called a Walking Titan ARG that's essentially built up, and it's pretty damn interesting. Out of the community that still remains to this game, a lot of people are still sharing this ARG between each other, and there's a huge website for it. There's passwords to uncover that is tied to a bunch of websites all over the internet, in-game locations for you to locate and decipher this puzzle. So looking into the Waking Titan website, this is the actual ARG website they got. I'm not even kidding around with you, ladies and gentlemen. They went above and beyond to make it look really, really damn crisp and clear. So if you look around, you can look at it. You can open up a bunch of these little icons on the ground. So you got ships, you got shelter-like icons, you got animals, and you type in answers, which the community is discovering together, obviously going from in the game to multiple websites. You can toss in answers and see the entirety of what you want to look at. So they got whole top-secret documents for anybody looking around. And I'm not even kidding with you. They got key names, they got participants, internal memorandums, all that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, all tossed into this one fine-looking ARG. And I'm not even kidding around with you. It gets even more in-depth once you start figuring out the answers, getting more information out of the archives, going into this DOS-like command prompt where you literally type in commands that you want to look into, all that good stuff, data sets, loop memory caches, Atlas interfaces. It is something that has got so much effort put into it, and I'm pretty sure it has to be something from even the developer point of view, because it just cannot be entirely community related. It's been a long time since I've seen ARGs like this kick off for actual games like this from the community itself, so with all this effort put into it, there's definitely a reason to at least come back and sort of get onto this bandwagon, if you will, because really, I don't think you're missing out or anything. They got a bunch of commands that you can follow through, and I'll leave this all for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is all entirely on you to figure out, but just to show you, I'm not kidding around when I tell you the community went fucking mental for this game. It's crazy awesome. I love ARGs, I like that kind of stuff, and it gives more of incentive to play when the community is so heavily involved into the project. And because of this ARG, there's also a sign that there is another big, massive update coming to the game. So it gives me an incentive to sort of get into the franchise, again, get into the game, and sort of give it the college try and see what I can do from there on in. Since that time, I've been playing on the PS4 version of the game, which has received the updates. I've had a decent time playing it so far. Is there still a bit of a grind? Of course there is. There's always going to be a lot of grind in No Man's Sky. I don't think you can ever avoid that. But I managed to pick the game up on PC lately, and I've been loving the modding community for this game as well. There's been a lot of mods that have come out for No Man's Sky, a lot of these quality of life patch type deals. For example, there's one mod that I've been playing with called Rayrod's Overhaul, which essentially puts in a lot of features we saw in the E3 demo for this game, and a lot of features overhauled so that the game is just a more smoother, enjoyable experience to play. It's without a doubt the best mod to have if you're playing the PC version of the game. You can't bring it on the console, but the console got plenty of updates anyway, so it's still worth playing. The game has base building, the game has a multiplayer where you can see orbs and shit from other players, and it's got what you expect from a space exploration game. Back in the day when I used to play some of these games like Freelancer, games like Elite 2 Frontier, most of the gameplay was essentially as freeform as you can get to it, which is what made these space simulator games so exciting to me. You could choose to be a giant trucker in space and make tons of cash. You could choose to be somebody that engaged pirates and made your cash that way, and that's what you essentially get with games like Elite Dangerous. The reason why I've been enjoying No Man's Sky a whole lot lately is because the flying is just a lot more smoother to really experience as you're playing these type of games. A lot of the bigger games that have come out in the same sort of sphere, specifically Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, are not exactly pick up and play friendly. They're games you have to sort of commit to, and in Star Citizen's case, it hasn't even come out yet, so if you bought into the game like I did 3 years ago, you still don't have a proper version of the game to really be playing into. It's still very alpha stage, which is unfortunately the bad part. No Man's Sky, however, still has that charm that I have not seen in any other game lately. It's got an interesting world that's all its own, a unique art style. The music is to die for. If anything, the music is what really keeps this game going. The production team behind that deserves a goddamn award. But I think adding on to the story and this ARC simulator, it's definitely made this game an actual enjoyable experience to get into. And I understand a lot of people are going to sit there and say, Muda, you know what, it's 2018, this game is fucking dead. It is very dead, ladies and gentlemen. There's barely anybody else to find. You might get a discovery off here and there, but what you do have now is a game that's definitely been updated to the point where it is definitely worth playing. I didn't give this game a chance even when it did get these updates, but after a while when it's fermented, reading into the community, giving the story an actual chance, I can say one thing, it is something you should pick up if it ever goes on sale for $30 goddamn dollars. Again, making this video is a big thing for me because I want to give this game a chance. I love space simulators, and this is one of those games that is without a doubt, I guess you could say, a pillar, even if it is a shitty, crumbling pillar of space simulators, it is one all on its own. And with the competition right now still even fermenting, for example, Star Citizen, a game that I wanted to make a video on, has not gotten any form of traction or update really building up. It's just one of those games that played well for me like a month ago. They updated the game again. It's almost impossible for me right now to even load it up without it crashing. And Elite Dangerous is Elite Dangerous. This is one of those games that still has the feeling of it going all on its own. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my little No Man's Sky shill, I guess you could say, for 2018. A game that, I gotta say, after its initial shit-tier release date, almost a year after, well, a full year after this game has ever come out, is finally worth giving a flying fuck about, ladies and gentlemen. Is it still the game that we hope to get? Not really. Even if you mod it on the PC, it's still not the game that we should have gotten. It's still not the advertised material. But it is interesting to say that Hello Games is putting a lot of effort out to actually update this game, and with a future update potentially on the horizon, it definitely seems like a game that I would recommend dive back into. Not for the full $60 these motherfuckers are charging, for as modest $30. And if you want to make money again, No Man's Sky, maybe consider porting this to the Switch for like $30. I'm sure people would buy this shit on the Nintendo Switch if it had come out on that system. I'm pretty sure the Switch can handle it if given the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have much more to say about No Man's Sky. I think that all the controversy is in videos of the past. At this point, the controversy to me has sort of died down, and I wanted to give my sort of vloggy look at a game that I've really gotten back into, ladies and gentlemen. I will always argue that no matter what, the 1.0 version of this game is a pile of absolute fecal matter. But I will always keep the 1.0 version, because if anybody ever tells me this game was perfect at launch or it was this amazing, I'll refer them to this original 1.0 release and tell them to promptly go fuck themselves. But after a bunch of patches and a community that's heavily invested with this Waking Titan ARG, with this awesome, password hunting type deal, it is a game that I recommend you all get into. So if you're into ARGs, check out the No Man's Sky deal that's coming out. And Hello Games, please release another update to this game. I know that you're still working on it. It's still the magnum opus that you want to make it. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to back out over here. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. This is me, Mudahar, and I'm headed back into No Man's Sky.